The ancient Maya, carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. From 200 to 980, their culture flourished. Food and health must have been plentiful for them to build these temples. Religion, temples, and their traditions became more and more intricate and violent with time, until the collapse of their society, which left us with a testament of ruins. The Spaniards, in the name of the Catholic religion, destroyed all manuscripts. Little is known and much is speculated about the collapse of the Maya society. War between Mayan communities became more brutal. One theory speculates that the population abandoned the hierarchy in temples to their fate to create the communal society which seems to rule the present Maya. The Maya Bell, the closest hotel camping place from the Palenque ruins. The Maya Bell itself is like going back in time, the 1960s. I'm a hippie, it is my new philosophy. Yeah, man. The Palenque ruins are my favorite. They are set against the backdrop of a lush jungle and is perhaps one of the most mystical of the Maya sites. A nucleus of palaces and temples show a remarkable elegance and considerable compositional taste. The story of Pacal and Palenque is very rich and fascinating. The ruins have become very commercialized since 10 years ago. The living Maya here seems to be doing well. Near Palenque lived the Lacandon Mayan. They lived secluded, and as late as the 1940s, the Lacandon culture was still beyond the influence of Christianity. They have had to face massive frontier settlement and deforestation of the Lacandon rainforest. Today, they retain a great amount of land and are managing some of their ancestral ruins. Captured snakes become pets. This snake is really poisonous. It's time to go boating. Here the chol are curious as always. They seem to love watching gringos. Privacy while changing is a problem as we are surrounded. A modern ruin. The government built a lodge for the native community. It is complete with kitchen, rooms, and all the facilities, including furniture. Because of a local dispute, the place is abandoned. A few deer in cages watch us. The water of Agua Azul becomes saturated with lime and turns a deep blue color. The river is surrounded by the jungle, which provides rich sounds and smells. The limestone and travertine formations create the many falls, which makes Agua Azul a boater's dream in the midst of a spectacular scenery. a small waterfall is causing some worries. Sebastien lost his boat and paddle. They disappeared in the cave behind the falls.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man. Is he strong? Listen, bud, he's got radioactive blood. Can he swing from a thread? Take a look overhead. Hey there goes the Spider-Man. In the chill of night, at the scene of a crime, like a streak of light, he arrives just in time. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Wealth and fame, he's ignored. Action is his reward to him. Life is a great big hang-up. Wherever there's a hang-up, you'll find a Spider-Man.
The following day, only 2 of us ran this waterfall. The next set of falls are big. We watched the deer losing control and getting tumbled down the river over these 2 falls. I thought for sure he was dinner, but the deer survived, apparently unharmed. None of us were as brave as the deer. At the confluence of the Chimulra and Agua Azul, we met some natives. I gave them our lunch, ham, cheese, tortillas, and cookies. They wanted money. I told them I did not have any money on me, and that I already had given them some food. She returned the food to me, minus the cookies. I told her I would bring her money the next day, but she did not believe me. The next day, I gave her 50 pesos, and we took her picture. As we were leaving, she demanded more money, but I told her that I had already outpaid her well above the normal price. She started waving her machete at Sean. So much for friendly locals. Hey, can you hear the holler monkeys?
Yeah, they sound like haunted mind voices from way back.
We are off to Ocosingo in the Jatate River.
Oh yeah! Pollo y cervezas!
This is the best pigeon I ever ate.
Rancho Esmeralda is like a little bit of paradise on earth. Near Ocosingo and next to the Tonina ruins, the ranch is located in a beautiful setting with a great view of the valley below. This is the dream of Glenn and Ellen. They created an eco-friendly hotel ranch, which was rated in the Lonely Planet as one of the best 10 places to stay in Mexico. The Zapatistas shattered that dream when they started blockading the gate on December 12th. We don't want you here anymore, said the local Celtal Indian community. As for the reason of the dispute, they refer me to the Zapatistas office in San Cristobal. The Zapatistas at the gate were quite friendly to us. The dispute seemed to be a local matter. Since we had reservations at the ranch, we entered through the Tonina ruins, which seemed to be the agreeable alternative between Rancho Esmeralda and the Zapatista community. Named by the Celtal, Tonina means house of stone. Tonina's pyramidal structure is composed of 7 platforms and is crowned by 13 temples. The central stairway leading to the Temple of Smoking Mirror reaches a total of 260 steps. Tonina was a belligerent city. Monuments record victories. Its greatest moment came in 711 AD when Tonina's warriors captured Palenque. From Tonina, you can see the biggest army camp in Chiapas. It gives you a feeling of false security. I asked around and it seemed that the route to the Jatate River was free of any trouble. We were off to our own adventure. Our put-in was the Rio Real, an easy access to the Jatate River. The little canyon is beautiful and lots of fun. Ernesto, Dadio.
Amazing.
Qu'est-ce que tu veux
Xavier,
dire pour ta
what
maman?
do you want to say for your mom?
Qu'elle s'inquiète pas trop.
Don't worry, Mom. Bob is with me. Our dreams, like the dreams of Rancho Esmeralda, were soon to be shattered. Angry Zapatistas swarmed us on the flat water. They seized our paddles, boats, and cameras. We were forced on shore and taken to an abandoned school, which became our home for the next 24 hours. They proceeded to search our gear. Soon, 3 other gringos joined their group, a young couple from Spain and a French citizen. The atmosphere relaxed a bit. The other gringos assured us that the Zapatistas would not harm us.
On the French guy, they found some tequila and 3 joints. They said it was a banned substance in their area, so they hauled him off to what they called a prison or a jail.
1.5 meters by 2.5 meters.
Yeah, a shoebox with bars apparently. They held him there for a few hours and decided what would be the fine, which is in the end about $200 US, which is probably about a month's wage for everyone in that village.
A nice way to get a little bit of cash. We figured they would find some way to fine us somehow. Then they were going to decide, could we continue on the river or we couldn't. So they had to wait to contact their headquarters to see if we had the right of passage.
Which we didn't.
The next day saw us waiting for a truck to take us back to Ocosingo. We were in the small village of San Manuel. During the day, to my surprise, an army convoy came by. I stopped them to explain our situation. The army left, and the Zapatistas were furious at me. When the rest of the villagers came back, they had a conference, and we could see the guy from France talking to them. And everybody from the village came over to talk to me. And one fellow was quite upset with me talking to the army, and I said, well, I did not know I was not supposed to talk to the army. And I asked him, we're not happy because we were pulled off the river, you're not happy because we're here, and really, we just want to wait here in peace and everything be fine. And we actually did shake hands. Another fellow, however, who was on a horse, got in a huge tirade about the fact that we were spies, that we were here to create problems, and that in fact, if we were going to create more problems, they would pour gas on our equipment and burn it. And then I proceeded to tell him that, well, the army know that we are here. The French embassy and the Canadian embassy both know that we are here. And before he started threatening us with stuff like this, that maybe he should think about it. And I turned around and asked the French guy that was there, obviously working with them, to try to explain to this fellow that in fact we are tourists. It was maybe stupid of us to come here, but we're here, and we didn't want to be pulled off the river, but they did that to us, and I don't see any harm that we've created. And that this guy should think before he starts threatening us, because if he wants an international problem, maybe he's headed that way.
The weirdest thing were those gringos.
Yeah.
Those gringos that lived in the village. There was one French guy.
As teachers.
Yeah, and one Spanish couple, they were not allowed. This one French guy was not allowed to talk to the other French people in our group. And they were like Zapatistas sympathizers. We don't know what they were doing there, but they were definitely with the Zapatistas.
Finally, the truck showed up. We were out.
Get your cock out, brother.
I did the Jatate twice in 1993. I have great memories of white water. It is a boater's dream. Travertine Falls in the middle of the jungle, a unique place on earth. In 1993 we worked side by side with the Zapatistas. They were already there, waiting for the day to start the rebellion. What made them hate boaters so much? It was too late for us to enter Rancho Esmeralda through the ruins. Glenn hid the 13 of us on the bus floor at night so that we could pass through the Zapatista lines. Maybe it triggered more bitterness from the Zapatistas surrounding the ranch. One of his employees got beaten. Another received death threats. Glenn and Ellen have been forced out of their ranch right in front of the biggest army base in Chiapas. Don't count on the Mexican government for help. Nothing should flow smoothly in Mexico, not even the traffic. Roads, highways are full of topes. Some are so rough that you have to come to a complete stop. Sometimes it takes an hour to do 50 kilometers on a good road. We visited Chemula, which is a Tzotzil Maya village outside of San Cristobal. Here you can take pictures of the market. You will have to pay for a close-up photo. Don't take pictures or film inside the church. The locals killed a couple of Italians with machetes for filming inside the church. The inside of the church is mesmerizing. All the prayers are in Maya. Chicken, candles, Coke bottles, crosses, and many different statues are all part of their religion. Religion plays an important part of the daily life. Here you see a shrine in a house. When the men pray, they get drunk. It's part of their religion. The Mayan are also known as the people of the corn. Maize is an important part of their culture and religion. They pray for successful corn harvest. One has to wonder if, nowadays, when they pray, they ask for the world price of corn to stay high.
Telar y después el bordado. Sí.
The local markets in Zinaquentan, Chemula, and San Cristobal display an amazing weaving tradition. Here, the Mayan culture is thriving. The poverty I saw 10 years ago is gone.
Il y a deux femmes qui font.
Voy a cambiar. Lo voy a cambiar.
Since we could not do the Jatate River, we had a few days to spare. We went surfing at the west coast.
Tierra de Fuego.
This is my first encounter with the plastic forest. We surfed from morning to night. Life on the west coast was easy.
Dead on my head, wasting time on my own. Sleep, rescue me, take me back to my home. For the times that you wanna go and bust times real slow, I'll appear, slap you on the face and enjoy the show. Cheese smells so good on a burnt piece of lamb. Fat of the year, who could beat up your man? For the times that you wanna go and bust times real slow, I'll appear, slap you on the face and enjoy the show. Disco blues.
We finished our trip on the Caribbean side of Mexico, and it is beautiful. Here, the ancient Mayans built many famous temples. Tulum is the only one near the ocean. The ancient Maya worshipped the sun. It is still practiced today. To visit all ruins, you have to pay a fee. Your video camera has to pay a fee as well. Still cameras are free, unless you bring a tripod. Then the tripod has to pay. Mexican logic. We are watching an ancient Mayan tradition. The objective is to predict the harvest for the next season. These are actors. The Mayan takes this ceremony seriously and would not do it for tourists.
Wel belangrijk dat je blijft draaien. Anders stopt het tegen taal.
Here, tourism rules. Nothing is cheap. There is lots to do and see, but you have to pay. You will have to look hard to find something that is not commercialized. Best date I've had in years.
What do you mean?
Is it dog? That is a troll.
Isn't she beautiful?
$3.
$3. $3.
Yeah.
Cute.
Chiapas?
Yeah.
It is beautiful.
The Zapatistas, idolized, romanticized, and also commercialized. You can buy Zapatista t-shirts, dolls, etc. It is hard for me to understand the politics of isolation, which seems to prevail among the Tsaltal Indians. Globalization, the price of corn, coffee, and bananas affect their lives. What role does the French gringo we see here or other gringos living amongst the Zapatistas play? Who is spreading this propaganda? Who financed the rebel army and what are their objectives? The Mexican army presence is huge in Chiapas. The Zapatistas are surrounded. Army convoy patrol all roads, even deep into Zapatista territory. Yet, the Zapatistas have invaded 2,700 ranches. On February 28, the Zapatistas we see here invaded Rancho Esmeralda, right in front of the largest Mexican base in Chiapas. Honest, hard-working citizens are left unprotected by the impotence of the Mexican government. When we went there, we were sympathetic towards the Zapatistas, but it is really hard to like somebody that hates you. We represent the industrial world, which makes us evil. We never had a chance to communicate.
asked us if we want dessert. And I said, what's for dessert? He says, a joint.
Who is this? Brother, what are you got in your body today?
Looks like I thought I had fleas, and in actual fact I'm tick infested. So will this focus in enough? That's from dinner. Sean was dinner. Oh, I got bit all over.
So you better find a friend to go and take patrol tonight.
Andy? Brother? I need help, man.